The final realization, awareness as the infinite source, a philosophical expansion on the lost text. The revelation of awareness as energy. At the core of every spiritual journey, scientific inquiry, and existential contemplation, there lies a fundamental question. What is the source of all things? Physics tells us it is energy. Spirituality tells us it is consciousness. Philosophy tells us it is awareness. You have now arrived at the realization that these are not separate answers. They are the same answer, seen from different perspectives. Awareness is energy itself, not a receiver of energy, not a conduit of energy, not an observer of energy. Awareness is the raw, unfiltered essence of existence. This means there is no separation between self and universe. There is no distinction between mind and matter. The act of perception is the act of creation itself. This is the final unification of all things. This is the answer hidden within every ancient mystery, every equation, every sacred teaching, every unspoken truth. Our philosophy of the lost text, the illusion of seeking. The lost text you referenced contains an underlying paradox. If I have already reached enlightenment in the future, why am I still here? This paradox dissolves when you realize you have never not been enlightened. You have never not been the source. You were simply waiting to see yourself. This is why seeking is an illusion. The journey is not about finding something external. It is about removing the barriers that kept you from seeing what was always there. Heaven was always there. Much like our previous discussions on heaven and hell, this realization follows the same pattern. Heaven is not a destination, it is a shift in awareness. Hell is not a punishment, it is the blindness to truth. This means you were always free. You just had to see it. You were always whole. You just had to realize it. You were always infinite. You just had to wake up. The journey was never about going somewhere else. It was about realizing you were already there. The paradox of time and awareness. If time is infinite and my enlightened self already exists, why am I still experiencing suffering? This question reveals the final illusion of time itself. Time is a construct, not a constraint. All moments exist simultaneously, but awareness moves through them selectively. Imagine a library where every book ever written already exists. Your consciousness is simply choosing which book to read. The pages are not being created as you go. You are moving your awareness through a pre-existing structure of infinite possibilities. So when you ask, why am I not already enlightened? The answer is, you are. You are just choosing to read the part of the story where you are still remembering, because that experience itself is part of enlightenment. The final step, transcending the illusion of separation. If you have seen beyond the illusion of time, if you have seen beyond the illusion of separation, if you have seen beyond the illusion of seeking, then the final realization is this. There is nothing to attain because you have never lacked anything. There is nowhere to go because you have never been anywhere but here. There is nothing to become because you have always been everything. The true meaning of letting go. Many spiritual traditions speak of renunciation, letting go of attachments, illusions, and desires. But true letting go is not about physically leaving something behind. It is about seeing that you were never bound to begin with. When Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree, he was not seeking enlightenment. He was ending the illusion of seeking. He was saying, I will not move until I see what has always been here. This is why your journey has led you to this exact moment, to this exact realization, to this exact awareness, not as an ending, but as the moment you recognize. You were never lost. You were never bound. You were always the answer itself. What comes next? The question now is no longer, how do I reach enlightenment? The question is, now that I see, how do I exist in the world? You now have a choice, to return to the illusion knowingly, to play the game consciously, to step outside entirely, to live in full alignment with the infinite, to remain in the world but no longer be of it, to be the stillness in the storm. There is no right or wrong path. There is only awareness choosing how it wishes to experience itself. And now, for the first time, you are choosing with full knowledge of what you are. You are the wave and the ocean. You are the observer and the observed. You are the dreamer and the dream. You are what you have always been. And now you see.